bells for Regnum Karia, Loxy and Toshpik. From up top of the hillside, they get vision, take some bullets down range and claim one back of their own.
It's a horrible approach for Regnum Karia.
They have to send it. Romeo should have heard that. Loxley's going to send forward, so at least they have a player in the back line there. Nope, never mind, both get in. And Romeo yet to take shots. Plenty of bullets to make it happen as well, and Regnum Karia is almost inviting those shots their way with the way they're lazily rotating over that hillside.
Regnum Karia on the drive-by. It's a very messy landing trying to get over the bridge, and this is Alter Ego that, of course, will bite the hand that feeds immediately. Krypton goes in to close the gap, just Toshpik really low on health, easy maneuvers, and you shut them both down. So goodbye, Regnum Karia.
Yeah, it's an embarrassing flop on the vehicle.
Yeah.
Getting that across the shallows as well, usually it's fairly simple to do. I think they want to stop off over towards the bridge, but scenario. Most teams have got these areas locked down. It's not the easiest game to play out, but we head up towards that northeast side and suddenly things get a little bit more difficult, a little bit more interesting. Ruins being a big feature in this one, but Thundertalks having this compound on the north side of it can cut out a lot of teams that want to come through on that western edge. DRX is going to struggle as they wrap around that high ground over towards Ida, who will have those nice sight lines. I'm more surprised by the fact that Scarface, as well as Ketch, have been able to live this long on Fireflux just on the two players. I think that's fantastic work from them.
Falcons have been biding their time. Saw an opportunity here to attempt to engage from underneath the bridge with the nade to cast that one out. Not directly on target. Romeo as well being nipped out by the zone, so he goes down. So effectively just a duo. You can see he's back towards the bridge side, not really in a great position whatsoever. And for the Falcons, vehicles to play with, good split, all four players alive. Smile priming the nade. Resetting that one until he sees an opportunity to actually get some chip damage off with it if they go for the crash down towards the bridge. DRX as well, finally getting revenge on Fireflux.
Scarface going down there is a bit rough. Ketch should be running into Reefers from APG soon. The rest of the team's a little bit further over towards his northeast, trying to hold out versus Team Secret, as well as the split Weibo Gaming. Falcons just rock over towards Noxian Red Force, and Narvalo's Elite's able to find one of them, but it was a quick descent into disaster here for the Falcons.
And this could go even worse quite quickly. They're attempting to pick up the pieces. Doxy goes down with Narvalo responding, but look how low he is. DBS in the hands of Binny as well. Baiting out on the angle. A single shot is all that's required. Just trying to peek into it. Seeing if he can swing round, dips behind the vehicle to stay alive. Alpha as well, shutting down Team Secret in the meantime.
It's good from Alpha Gaming. They've been waiting for that push for a long, long time there. Finally make it work. Now they can start thinking about their next moves. Narvalo heads in, and what a performance so far from Narvalo. The rest of the team did not find the same kind of look, but again, it's like one of those scenarios where you had hoped the Falcons would make a more aggressive push over towards the bridge and over towards Thundertalks. Yes, there's an opportunity to push through here, but it's likely that Noxian Red Force is holding these angles. Even so, it's not the full squad from Noxian Red Force which is able to tear you apart. There's a little bit of a limp approach from the Falcons. Next circle pops over towards Weibo. A big old split coming through from Alter Ego, who have all four players alive. Now, boys placed them in Dark Horse territory, but I think me and you are kind of clear in favor of Alter Ego, enjoying their rotates. Max brought up a good point to me earlier, saying perhaps their playstyle's unsustainable. My only counter to that is that I still think they would have done great even on the games where maybe they didn't deserve to get all the points in the world because it was off the back of team mistakes, but I still think that it would have got great placements, great points in those games regardless, just because of the way they played them.
I think it's been very heads-up PUBG Mobile from them. Super cerebral gameplay. A lot more positives than really negatives to highlight whatsoever. Krypton here as well, even being able to snatch away the last man there. So Narvalo goes down for Falcons. You do still have two solos, actually the three solos alive. Easy's still inside the little shed, bunkered down early. Kind kind of the secret agent in the backline of Alter Ego. Sakura as well here for E-Arena, spotting out onto Rifus on the drive up. Couldn't get himself behind any hard cover, so he falls.
Yeah, it's a really hard push. APG, they couldn't send all their players down either. Rifus was sent in as almost a sacrificial lamb to try and get an opening knock, but they couldn't afford to have all their team down there just in case they had to pivot. They also don't know that Ida's a weakened squad, in which case maybe they could have put pressure there. There is so many sidelines as you're passing through, though. It is unlikely that Alpha gets too much further into this game.
Easy's been able to get the backstab onto Rosemary. This is what he was waiting for so long. You kind of forgot he was there, and you paid the comeuppance because of it. Even more damage from Easy, actually. That's onto Thundertalks. For a solo dolo for power, still being able to steal away some additional points is actually huge.
I mean, finally gets taken down, but what a run
from the match. That's a good result. That's a great result. I don't know if they just got into placement point range there, because they would have just been the 1 point anyway. But that does drop Alter Ego from a 4-man down to a 3, and you're losing your main man, Mr. Rosemary. Not always easy. And then again, Alva as well as Krypton have been having a big step up. It is not just the Rosemary show anymore. There's plenty more to this team.
Might actually be a good storyline for us in the booth and the viewers at home as well, because that's something we've been trying to hammer home, right? How important Alva's been for this squad. And I think this is the sort of game where this trio can prove, just like Rosemary said, it's not just me, it's the entire squad. We play off each other very well, yes, but if things go wrong, we can still pivot. Crazy maneuvers from Easy there, just before he's taken. Harassing both Alter Ego and Thundertalks. The push up on the Weibo. Finish that off. So E-Arena snatching away the odd point here and there. 4 players alive for that squad as well, Blank. Could be a big talking point later.
E-Arena had been a eye-opening squad in terms of we saw them earlier. We're like, wow, this not a team we've got our eyes glued to. But the more they've played, the more they've had these moments of success here and there. It's a hard team to pinpoint of whether they're a team that could challenge out for the first place spot, or they're a team that's towards middle of the pack, because some plays are great, other plays not so much. It's hard to, I would say, pinpoint exactly how I feel about E-Arena, but there has been these good games, there has been some strong sweeps, and they're not a team that I think you could completely dismiss.
No, I think that's really fair. For me, the litmus test has been how Joker's playing as well. Feels like if he's on form, the rest of the squad really gets riled up. Alter Ego still looking menacing. Bit of a chip back over, Skura down. 3 players alive. I mean, Krypton is a rough position here on the hillside.
It's a smart one, though. You play in front of the rock because you're assuming they're going to be sending those nades over the top of it anyway, because they think you're hiding behind there. If they peeked up, they would have found a clear and easy shot over towards Krypton, but he takes that risk and it pays off here. Now they get the northeast shift on the circle. They know they need to start cleaning out E-Arena soon.
Oh, Mormon. The starter step round from the side is good for 1. Get the first knock onto Alva, but Krypton and Moana playing off one another. Instantaneous response. Look at the spray down. Joker trapped in position, pinned by the barrage of bullets. You can still get the save onto your mate as well.
Yeah, this is a great time to reset, recalculate here for Alter Ego. They know they've got a prime position inside the circle to play off with the 3 players. Awesome nade from Eren over the top there. We'll take down Sakura. Perfect airburst on that one as well. Despite everything, it is Ida as well as Alter Ego getting it through to the late game. Good shots from Krypton, keeps going forward. Like we said, it doesn't matter. No Rosemary doesn't mean that Alter Ego's down and out.
And I'm loving the fact that he kept the pressure on as well. Whilst the team was trying to reset themselves from the pickup and the heal, he was harassing. So you're still a little bit more paranoid. You can't take the fight to them. Ida have to stay tucked in for now. Rita's incredibly low as well.
For Ida, their big opportunity here is the shack right in front of the hard cover in the rock. They can get over towards it. It's big news, and Krypton had to hit that shot over towards Darkin. Now Eren moves up into position, and they find a decent nade over the back. Not quite, a little bit short here. They have a very strong position now, and that reset you were talking about does hamper them. Yes, Krypton was in position. The rest of Alter Ego weren't quite there to take shots as Ida crossed, and that was the prime time to do it.
Trying to force out the last man.
Nice.
Who find Doc? Okay, you remove him. Focus up on what's ahead of you then.
This is a good wrap now as well. It means they can play off the back of this hard cover. Again, approaching this position over towards Ida is not going to be easy, especially with the fact that resources, utility, extremely low on the side of Alter Ego. But what a banger of a first game. 10 eliminations, as well as a chance at a chicken dinner here.
It would be massive for them. Keep that energy going from the group stage. Show us that it wasn't a fluke. Chip damage there is going to be monumental as well.
Oh, he got no beds at all. Moana goes down. There is one shot out. Eren very low, and Krypton has to step back into cover.
Rita playing on the back foot. You're being pushed upon now. The last man. Timing is absolutely everything on this. And Alba, we said to highlight him. He's got the DBS in hand, wants to close the gap, looking to harass. And that's how Alter Ego do it. Straight back, showing us that they've got the talent, they've got the communication, and they've also got themselves the opening chicken dinner.
It's a great game from Alter Ego, and a promising one at that as well. We have it at home there saying that just because Rosemary down does not mean that this squad is not as fearsome as they come. That was an incredible match. Yes, they missed the rotate over towards Ida as they were coming across the road, but it was smartly played. And 3v4 versus E Arena as well there, where it counted. Really good plays from Alter Ego all around. But there are other things happening around the map. Easy get himself into a late game position there, getting 9 elims off the back of that one is a big result for them. And 4 thrives going down extremely early. It's a bit shaky.
Oh yeah, the power head-to-head on the hot drop. Scary stuff, and already you can see the intensity. Join us for more PUBG Mobile action in a couple minutes' time.
Cybertron's future is near. Autobots, roll out! This planet reeks of weakness. Your courage reignites my spark. We'll crowd a new load of Cybertron. Roll for freedom. A victory for all. falsity of beings.
Gua ada prediksi sebelum semuanya terjadi.
Tekanan. Apa itu?
Final
word go here, Seven.
It is, and I mean, continuing on the performance that we saw out of them in group stages, being able to control a lot of the circle. Once they felt comfortable, they started doing a 1-1-1-1 split, and that ultimately when it came down to Regnum, trying to push in. They had every angle, and it was an easy fight for this squad.
I mean, when you look at Sanhok in particular, Trifecta is just such a key transition point. They controlled it from like the early stages of the game until the very end, and it started with a hot drop against Thundertalk. They fixed it, they go boot camp, and because of that, they have an easy chance to go for the win. 23 points right out of the gate. SEA here to win it all.
Impressive high ground control, impressive fight against the arena as well to be able to salvage everything after that and then get the 23 points. It's brilliant stuff from them. Following things up as well, Alpha Gaming with 12 points, being able to position themselves after a lot of eliminations, Max, getting themselves in a decent spot to start off the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, big fight happening in Painan versus, I believe it was Team Secret, able to get the squad wipe onto that one. And actually, we were critical about Doc. He kind of saved this game for his team. They got them right into the top 3, eliminated most of DRX as they were trying to exit out of Ruins. Are we going to see them be at the bottom of the rankings and Doc MVP like in PMGO? I hope not, but it's so far, it is going that way.
If it's this kind of performance, I mean, I don't hate it from APG. As you mentioned, it came down to Doc being able to clutch up a top 3 situation for this squad. If they continue like that, one thing that I do have to kind of nitpick a little bit, even though it is Sanhok, is them losing top early. If they would have had a little bit more of those players left alive there towards the end, it would have been a lot better.
Do you know, there were so many favorite moments from this game. Do you know what my... why are you already saying?
Don't.
Do you know what one of my favorite moments was
let him
from
talk.
this game? Stop him. It was both of your guys' picks going out straight away in the game. Max, what do you have to say about yourself?
So, Horror were alive.
So, yeah.
I blinked.
Yeah.
They weren't alive anymore.
That's weird.
That's all I have to say.
How about yourself, Seven, with 4 thrives?
It happens when a team decides to hot drop in the grand finals on day 1 on the first match. 4 thrives. Come on, what are we doing? To be fair, though, they said that after this, they don't really have to worry about anything else. But I don't care. 4 thrives. Please stop. Even if you're only going to be playing Sanhok twice. And who was my pick?
Grand finals. What's wrong, Max? Alter Ego?
I'm annoyed.
Was it actually your pick?
Yeah, of course.
It was his pick. Barney too.
They look crazy good in the group stage, and now they're controlling crazy amounts of space. Anyway, that's by the by. Let's take a look at the highlights from this game as well.
One thing I really liked, actually, we're talking about it a little bit, Seven, during this game, is the rhythm at which Alter Ego play. Not talking about the control on Trifecta, which we already highlighted was phenomenal. Is the way they take engagements to make sense. They take a big fight, they maybe take a few knocks, full reset, bring everyone back up, get information, transition to a better position. It's just very by the book, and yet so efficient, so well executed, so snappy. The Alter Ego, I was a little bit scared that what they did in group stage, it would be hard to replicate here in the finals, but they proved us wrong right away in the first game.
The main one comes down to that scouting. I'm really enjoying the scouting that they do, and as you mentioned, just the pacing of their playing style, making sure that they do end up clearing everything. Rosemary, though, to be fair, Rosemary ended up getting caught off guard there by Power, and talking about Power, what an impressive match out of this team, too, winning that hot drop.
Yeah, very important, all things considered. It might make 4 Thrives now think twice about that. They've still got 2 more Sandhogs to play here, Max, so maybe not coming back in those next 2 Sandhogs.
Look, you maybe don't want to ruin your Sandhogs when Alter Ego already created a big lead.
Yeah,
that's, you know what? Because it's not about you need to be top 8 to be in a good position. You need to win it all, and you're not going to do so by hot dropping on one map.
Yeah, the thing is if the one member of power isn't there, I think Alter Ego wins this even harder. They've got Rosemary and Moana just waiting for that Thunder Talk kind of rotate around on the left. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be the desk host. Go on, talk, Seven.
Good. I think, what was it? It was like 13 eliminations. I'm with you. If they would have kept Rosemary, they would have been so much more aggressive because what we have seen this team do, which is just gain all of that control. They would have been willing to take those fights, and even at the end, when we saw them having to just slow down and get a reset, it would have been a lot faster.
Yeah, I kind of want to steal a point that you were talking about earlier, Kalaris, during the game. It's actually, they're very good at knowing the weaknesses of their position. Thunder Talk up northwest, they were trying to wrap around. They instantly understood, okay, this is our weak point. We are going to get wrapped around. They set up a little bit of a defense. Power, as we said, that one solo player does kind of ruin it for them. They do lose Rosemary.
Yeah.
But Thunder Talk, if they don't take care of that main threat at that point, chances are they don't win that match. So they're very, very good at just understanding what is going to be the issue in matches when it comes to taking wins.
That said, I do have a lot of hope for our Korean overlords, as I normally do in these tournaments, boys. And take a look at Nongshim Red Force going up against DRX as well. 2 teams that could do a lot here. But DRX in the distance, dodging bullets left, right, and center, then being able to shut down Nongshim Red Force. There was there's cool moments all over the place from this game 7.
There was. I mean, you have Narvalo being able to clutch up for Team Falcons, too. That was a pleasant surprise. Yeah. Remember, last time I was talking about him, it was just getting eliminated too early on for his team. So it's good to see it now, being able to see the evolution of Narvalo.
Yeah.
But I got to call out 3 teams, actually. 2 teams. It has to be Nongshim Red Force and Fireflux. Nongshim Red Force, I'm going to give you a bit of a slight one because you did have a lot of the area. You had a circle that was kind of blessing you. But these 2 teams just play a little bit too passive for what the lobby is currently showing us.
Let's check in with our teams coming into Erangel. Erangel is an unbelievably important battleground here, and 4 Thrives alongside Alter Ego have been able to truly thrive on this battleground, Max, but who's going to be able to do it?
If you're able to get these point averages we've seen in the survival and the league stage, right, coming in from 4 Thrives, Alter Ego, if you're getting around like 6 elims, 7 elims average on every Erangel, again, you're playing this battleground 3 times per day, you're going to start creating an even bigger lead. And the fact that Alter Ego start with a win, and they are our Erangel top fragger, bro, they're scary right out of the gate here.
Yeah, definitely. With 50% of the maps being, of course, Erangel here, you need to be performing on the grassy pastures.
Well, I mean, for 4 Thrives, as I was saying, okay, you know what? Let's get out of the way with Sandhog. You got that hot drop. Hopefully, you'll be able to learn for tomorrow. But now, going into Erangel, all their wins came in Erangel. Whenever we were in group stages, they ended up with, what was it, top 3, 4 times out of 6 matches that we played this. So they need to make sure they take full advantage of Erangel.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll be able to make it happen. Again, as you said, Kalaris, 50% of your matches are on this battleground, on the grassy pastures. You want to try and have some good time over there. And if any teams can be making it, all the top fraggers we just saw on that graphic could be the ones to make it happen.
Definitely. I expect we'll see a bounce back from 4 Thrives. They're not going to go lying down. But of course, over in-game right now, you guys can get your hands on the PUBG Mobile Airdrop Carnival, and it's now live. Don't miss the final 3 days this weekend. Log in to summon your airdrop surprise and collect 2025 airdrop vouchers from your chance to win official merch, smartphones, BD partner rewards, permanent in-game items, and more. Every participant is guaranteed to win rewards. Come and join the Airdrop Carnival and unbox your surprise. Any surprises you may think of here, 7, coming into Erangel?
That I can think of right away? No, none. I just want to see some of those teams that I ended up calling out being a little bit more aggressive. Yeah. Especially even if they do end up in a position where they maybe are blessed by the circle, I want to see them being a little bit more proactive. Try to get those points. Try to get those eliminations.
Yeah, I mean, one team I'm going to be looking at, especially this game, is going to be Regnum Karya. They drop in Rozok. There's no contention. There's no hot drop happening over there. They did have a really rough circle this time around on Sanhok, but Erangel is by far their best battleground. If there's any time Regnum Karya need to step up, it's right here, right now.
And for the Regnum Karya, it's going to have to come down to just being able to rotate a little bit faster. We were talking about it during that last match, Max. We're saying they're rotating way too slow. It's going to end up hurting them. Guess what? Alter Ego was already set up. And when you have teams playing like how Alter Ego is, being able to control such a big area, if you're going to end up rotating late, and not being able to scout, you're just pretty much going to get eliminated.
Of course, you guys over at home as well can not only be watching the stream that's going on here, but make sure to have the map feed open too live, because obviously that is going to give you huge information regarding how these teams are going to be rotating, how they're moving. And speaking of that, I paid very close attention whilst I was kind of analyzing the games from day to day, how Yangon was going to be rotating on things, because of course, coming from Military Island is not the easiest of things you have to do in this game, Maxpan. And sometimes it was by hovercraft, sometimes it's by cars across roads and things like that. So for them, there is always that potential challenge that you've got to deal with when coming from military.
I mean, especially because, let's keep in mind, unlike in the survival stage, 4 Thrives are here. Western Bridge occupied. Alpha Gaming back in the lobby, dropping in the military. Novo also going to be possibly occupied. I think there was even a potential hot drop happening over there. So Yangon Galacticos, this is going to be turned up to 11 into hard mode. And we know that this is a team that surprised us. Can they surprise us when they are going to have a real tough time simply surviving on Military Island?
If there was a team that I would expect them to be able to get out of Military Island, will be Yangon Galacticos. But
I agree.
They've been able to show it over and over again. They've been able to adjust. Yeah, even now that 4 Thrives is here, and they're more than likely going to just be controlling that Western Bridge. We have seen Yangon Galacticos realize that and be willing to just take some damage from the blue zone, go all the way around into the Eastern Bridge, and even if they end up rotating late, it works out for them.
It does work out, but I'm just scared not only of 4 Thrives, because we've seen that normally their hold on Western Bridge is quite passive. They allow teams to move in if it doesn't give them a big advantage in the circle early on. My main issue is going to be when APG and 4 Thrives, APG and Yangon Galacticos try to rotate at the same time, and you're going to have this big bottleneck situation. That is really what caused this team to lose a lot of players in the early game.
All I'm hearing here is a third-party opportunity for Yangon Galacticos.
Ooh. That's kind of scary. There's some really good... Anyway, that's by the by. It's time. The Grassy Pastures, Erangel, game number 2 of the day here for the Grand Finals.
Impeccable timing from the audience there, and overall, Blank, you can see it's starting to fill out right. You've got fans, you've got family, you've got support staff, everyone in the arena ready for the anticipation that's going to continue to build as we make our way through these playoff games. And I tell you what, Blank, I'm going to throw it into the mix right now. Alter Ego take back-to-back chicken dinners.
You think so?
100%.
Straight on to Erangel with another Alter Ego win, huh? I mean, to be fair, yep, all the support staff are here, the fans are out in force. Al-Haji's father is here cheering him on as well. A little bit extra pressure, you know?
Oh yeah, the legend himself in the crowd.
My dad was here, I'd be worried. I'd do a better cast. But yeah, we're heading over towards Erangel for the first time here over at playoffs. Starting over towards Quarry, heading up over towards Stauber. Very neat little playing path here for most teams, right? We'll be able to get out slightly early over towards Primos, very Pier, as well as Sosnovka, which gives you a little bit more time to figure out what your movement's going to be from Sosnovka, which is nice, especially if you drop down there. But meantime, teams heading over towards Yasnaya, Mansion, Lipovka, Prism. It's a little bit of a longer rotate that you're going to have to make. Time you have to spend inside the plane. I think for most teams, they'll be very, very happy with this kind of playing path.
You can see how the standings are looking as well, of course, off the back of that opening game of the playoffs here. For Power, it was a very impressive hot drop, targeted one of the teams that everyone's had their eyes on, and that was 4 Thrives, who absolutely dominated back in the group stage. Is there going to be a bit of back for blood gameplay on that one? That's what I'm curious about. Are they going to have this revenge moment? You don't want to have 2 games of slow starts. That's a squad that needs to build.
APG currently parachuting over the top of 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives already hit the ground running. We'll see if APG extends this parachute down towards Sosnovka. I think they have to at this point, especially now that 4 Thrives is already starting to get set up. We send over towards the eastern side of the map. Falcons in their beloved Pachinki, as well as Rozok being held by Regnum Kaya, as Maxman was talking about earlier on. Now, was a lot of indecision coming through from Regnum Kaya when it comes to Rozok. Teams often finding a better position in Rozok when the circle heads that way. Not sure whether to hold inside or send out. I think that they got hit with a little bit of an unlucky stick a few times on that one. There certainly can be improvements. We'll wait and see. Keep your eyes on the wheel, the windscreen, please. Instead of just on the map, so if you're driving, get direction from your teammates, possibly.
don't dent the Dacia. Keep it clean, black. Paintwork on that. It's a nice cool blue. Matches the logo.
Yeah, she works out. Works out very well. But everyone in this one all rotating together here for Thunder Talks, sending down towards Milta, which is free right now, so Thunder Talks can play that one out. Alter Ego sending far over towards Lipovka right now, which is very much out of the way, but on this kind of circle, it's completely fair. You don't want to send your entire team over towards Lipovka, though. You would like some scouts on the outside. Right now, it looks like the entirety of the team is just going up towards Lipovka, though. I think they expect that they're going to have time, especially on the plane path being so long over towards the eastern side of the map.
Curious as well. Position 10, Falcons tied points with Weibo and both Fire Flux as well. How they're going to be looking. Obviously, we saw in their Sandhawk Games for our survival stage. It was far slower pace. It worked for them there. It's going to be a bit different here. Teams that are going to look to try and take the fight to you, you're not going to get as many freebies. When they crashed into Nongshing Red Force, that's where it all went wrong. Hopefully they can avoid a similar outcome here. Forward scout on Ralph, farther up ahead. It's Regnum Karia, Fireflux and Power that are relatively close by.
Power's getting a move on. Regnum Karia also making that move, as you were saying, all in vehicles. They left Rozhok early. They want to pride themselves here, and I think that's fair enough, especially in the first circle. They don't want to spend too much time in Rozhok. They'd rather get a central position and then know that there is a chance to send back over towards Rozhok later on. So we're not doing any of these shenanigans where we leave 2 players behind, we send 2 players up front. They're going to play together. If it means they have to kind of work their way back into Rozhok, dig a tunnel back towards that region of the map, then sure, fair enough. But in the meantime, Regnum Karia is just going to try and take a central position, which they know they have priority on right now from the spot that they started in. Like you said, Power in a similar spot. Gondola here for Eren, as he will make the journey back down the mountain. This is over towards Stalber.
This is intense. Eren, inside of the gondola. The ground shaking.
It's not intense, it's in a gondola.
Not as good as the horse, you know. I think horse, gondola, kind of, you know, different territory.
Yeah, it's a completely alternate playing field, right? It's incomparable.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Stop that.
You can tell we're a duo.
Yeah, we can. Jinx Padlock, throw away the key.
Oh, I'm glad you saved us.
I am.
You know what, though? Glad we get a little bit of camera time with DRX here as well. Again, you know, they kind of had a rough early rotation where Fireflux were able to take down 1 player from that team, but they kept it developing. And again, I think there's so much talent for this squad. I'm curious to see how they're going to be looking once we kind of have this day to look back on. Going into day 2, where they are in the standings, what the squad... been there, worn the t-shirt, and it's just a short space of time.
Yeah.
Meteoric rise for him. Very, very good talent to watch.
Youngman's been very effective across esports in, like you said, the short time he's been here, relative to a lot of the veterans that are in PUBG Mobile. I will say the one thing that is annoying between Nongshim Red Force as well as DRX for our South Korean teams is Tizzy, Sizzy, Zizzy. It's like, come on, guys. Let's get a slightly different naming convention going, just for my sanity at least.
Well, at least we've only got 1 alpha now.
That's true, yeah. Fantastic result.
For one of them.
For one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think, honestly, for Alpha 7, they claimed the name earlier, right? For Alpha Gaming, that felt more like BM, in my opinion.
What, they have the chance to do the funniest thing.
Oh, it's Alpha Gaming. They've won the second. Wait a minute.
Oh. The back-to-back. Oh, no, hang on. It's a different team.
A different one.
Yeah.
That would confuse the social media managers.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you that now.
That'd throw you off guard. Yeah. Roll the Alpha set.
Just joking.
Pull the fast one on you.
Let's not twist the knife too much.
No more BM. Okay.
they've just come off a pretty saddening defeat. But yeah, we are here live from Riyadh. We have a thumping, roaring crowd, which is great to see from all instances over the world, which is really, really sweet as well. Everyone coming out to support their team of choice. But it's been a slow game so far, with just a lot of rotating happening. I think we've lost 0 players. All teams still up and kicking as we head over towards Farmway. Most teams just looking for a more central position on the map. We are moving more and more away from edge gameplay. A lot of teams putting a lot more stock here towards the center, which will change as time goes on, as more and more spots open up around the edge of the map. You'll see teams getting a lot of success off the back of that, and it's crazy that we're coming into playoffs, and that is sort of the change we're going to see probably day 2, day 3 if this thing continues, and it really depends which team's going to take advantage of that, because a lot of times, in my opinion, it's teams that have very good sweeping capability. One team in particular does that very well, Alter Ego.
Oh yeah, and we've seen that as well in their gameplay already. I think again, you know, just sort of hammers home that point of the fact that this team couldn't do it all. They can pass the baton amongst one another. It was very nicely played. Krypton with the setup, even when Rosemary goes down, the way they're building back into the game, walking away with chicken dinner. And there's a reason, you know, you throw it out there saying, obviously, I think they could take a back-to-back chicken dinner here today. But with the talent they've shown, I think they genuinely could. We'll keep our eye on it, see how it goes over the flow of this one. Nice as well when you brought it up, obviously. Everyone in the crowd, we saw the highlight there on Al Haji's father. That segment of the crowd representing power. If they keep playing like they did, try and build into that, well, there they are in the Elim feed, taking fights to Thunder Talks. You know they're going to be getting loud.
Yeah, Sighting actually does go down straight away to Ragnar, which is a good opener. He does take a fair lick of damage, but should be able to get back into cover here. Just compound-based gameplay between both teams as the circle did push out towards the western side. And I think it's the first time this tournament we've really seen this area of the map in full over towards Potato Hill and the southern reaches of it. There's a lot of water. It's not as much as you might think, but you've got to consider that edge down towards Sosnovka that's still in is also a playable space. Be a bit mad. Try and confirm down there at this point in the game. So we are cutting around about 30%, I'd say, out of this map. So it's becoming a little bit more cramped, a little bit more crowded.
Scary as well, watching this rotate in from Team Secret. Another squad that I think describes as preferring to have those passive setups rather than being the one to instigate firefights. You run into the crosshairs of Alter Ego, they are going to take that fight to you. They won't let you get away cleanly. You had a spot backline there with Rosemary very quickly. Cover, didn't take the fight in the end, doesn't fight out a few bullets to see if he can get a connection over, but they can still chase on this.
For Alter Ego, they were sort of giving ground to Team Secret as they get ahead.